Meeting to adjourn at 7:30, 6:33. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. The first order of business is appointing the mayor for the remainder of the year to December 31st, 2026. Oh, roll call. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Hutchinson?
Here.
Councilman Webb?
Here.
Councilman Weinstein?
Here.
Mayor Fetcher?
Here.
Councilman Green?
Here.
Councilman Hall?
Here.
All right. Okay. Appointing the mayor for the remainder of the year, December 31st, 2026. Do I have an appointment?
Do we have any other?
Susan, did you ever get any more resumes?
No.
I'm looking to appoint Travis Sanford.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Next is going to be... Sorry guys, I'm not going to do it. We got next is going to be approval of council meeting minutes. I, Travis Sanford,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of office
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of office
of mayor,
of mayor,
upon which I am now about to enter.
of mayor, and now not. Okay. Next is going to be approval of council meeting minutes for 6/25/2026 and the special meeting minutes of 7/9/26.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Treasurer's report. Amber.
Okay. Starting next month, I am going to start giving you an actual treasurer's report of the account balances and everything, and I'd like to post them online as well on the website. So the past 2 weeks since the workshop, some of the things that I kind of want to update on. We are building a new database and software for 2027. This is going to have expense and revenue codes that were laid out in the A&L handbook. We are also going to make sure payroll is set up correctly. I'm going to have CSA go behind me and double check to make sure that it's set up correctly. And we will still have the prior databases for audit and financial reports. Secondly, this is just an informational thing. I was on the phone with the bank. Our checks, when we send out checks, they don't have a date, like a void date on them. So I just kind of wanted to make it known openly in the meeting, after 6 months, if you don't have the check, it's void. Second, positive pay. So last Friday, we got a call from the bank. We had our first instance of somebody trying to cash a fraudulent check. I believe it was over $8,000, and when we looked in the system, the actual check is only for less than $200. So we caught that, it's handled, and I worked with the bank to be signed up for positive pay. So essentially, we will upload our check registers into the bank, And that's going to help catch any checks that don't match the descriptions on the registers. It's also going to let me go in every day. I can pull up check images and approve or disapprove them. So that will just check if anybody's tampered with the name or washed them or anything along those lines. And that is all I have at this moment. Are there any questions or anything? All right.
You're going to do something with the budget committee?
Yes, I actually am hoping that maybe we can get something set up for next week. And it's looking like it's going to have to be a 5:30 time, and it's just figuring out a time that everybody is good with, or a day everybody's good with.
And we're looking for citizens who want to be on the budget committee?
Yes.
Are welcome to come?
Yes.
To be on the committee, or actually just come and watch? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it has to be online as well. All right.
Chief Adam, do you have anything for your report? Any updates? Sorry.
Motion to accept the pending report. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, department reports. Do you have anything to add from the workshop? Okay. Brent? All right. Will, also you wanted to say something?
I can now if I like. So this is with regard to the daily issue the Arkansas Municipal League is handling for us. So I got a call from our AML representative over there who's handling this, Ms. Bree Gibson, and she's tried to fill up and gave us some important information. So apparently, Ms. Bailey's attorney has a 10-day demand for $160,000 as a settlement offer, and there's a settlement conference scheduled in Fort Smith on August 24th at 10 a.m. in front of Judge Ford that the City Council must be present for if the case is not done beforehand. And you'll need to vote on whether you would like to accept, reject, or reject and counter. She recommends rejecting the $160,000 offer, and after speaking with her, her reasoning is very sound. The definitely hearing the process as far as counter, so I'm interested in that, but effectively it is currently in a position where it's likely that the case may end early with a summary judgment in our favor. Now, whether or not that happens really kind of depends on how the judge sees to interpret things, but she laid out the case when it sounds like there's a fairly strong evidence and so you don't have to go any further than that. Anything else right now. That would be ideal. If that doesn't work out quite the way we want, the high end of what the Bailey realistically could recover looks to be somewhere between about 60,000 and 25,000 in that kind of range for attorney fees, assuming that she managed to prevail and assuming that the calculations that ran either in her favor or not in her favor, depending on whether or not she did it in the first place. Based on that, and judging with Gibson, my recommendation is that y'all do not settle and allow us to continue forward. Partly because the ruling on the summary judgment question is going to happen after the settlement immediately, and so consequently, seeing where that goes first would be probably a wise choice. Now that said, you will have to travel over and attend that, but that is August 24th at 10 a.m. in Fort Smith. But the summary judgment not pending, strong case prevailing on it, but it is denied. The trial is set for the week of October 19th in May. So, ideally, summary judgment will go in our favor, but we'll not have to worry about this anymore. If that does not happen, the council kind of needs to decide what your stance is, assuming that things do move forward. So, put your hands, we all have to hands. currently asking for 160,000. Do you want to just reject it? Do you want to offer some back account? The other thing to keep in mind is that the other thing we believe has like a 50-50 share on it. So, city will be responsible for paying 50% of whatever the settlement agreement was.
I motion to deny offer. Yeah. I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next is going to be council member comments.
I guess it's not a comment, but I neglected to ask you to put the first reading of the chicken ordinance on the agenda, so I don't know if you want to do that now, or if you want to do it during new business, but it is here, all the councilmen have it, and I have 11 extra copies if anybody would like to look at it afterwards, but I'd like to have it read through since we talked about it at workshop. And I'd like to thank Will King for getting this done quickly. So that's, and another comment, sorry. I had a constituent come up and talk to me about, and this is for you, I guess, Chief Babb, maybe some guidance here, about Browns Beach. Apparently her grandkids and kids were there last weekend, and because of the no real designated swimming area, there were boats docking and letting people on and off, and it was kind of a dangerous situation. Is there something we can do since we decided not to put the swim area out this year?
There's signs that say no swimming on the dock.
Okay.
I mean, there's signs everywhere where the boats go.
Okay.
So the biggest thing we do is tell our constituents to stop swimming.
Okay.
They weren't swimming, they were swimming in the beach area.
They're swimming in the beach area?
Yeah, and ski-doos and boats, pontoon boats came in, and the ski-doos were skiing around, and the kids were scared, and they got.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what the protocol is for that, because, you know, it's going to be a core issue with the boats. I mean, that's not, that point is not really a swimming area. I mean, the swimming area is over to the east side of that point. Correct. So, I guess we need to get the core and find out where boats, you know, if we got to start going down there and shooting boats away from certain points, there are signs that need to be put up. Okay. You know, no boats around, you know, past this point or what.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what they were wondering, is if there's a way we can mark the areas where boats aren't supposed to be.
I think it's going to be
So who needs to do that?
You know, because boats, if they're motoring past a certain speed, have to be 50 yards before them. Is that right?
With pedestrian rules as well.
Yeah.
Is there not movies still out there that says no? I haven't looked.
No.
There's
There's no movies around Brown Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was all very good the quarter ranger for as far as pedestrian distance.
So do we, I'm just looking for some guidance. I don't know who needs to do what here. Do we need to, do I need to contact the Corps?
I can contact the Corps and Game and Fish to see if they can put some guidance, you know, some signage, or tell us what we need to be looking for, or we need to do something, because, you know, I agree there needs to be something, but the problem is, and I understand you said that, you know, that they weren't, jumping off the dock, but I have witnessed many times parents watching their kids go over, jumping off the dock, and swimming down the boat launch while there's boats waiting to come in and trying to get them to move, and have to go up and say, please move, there's a sign that says don't swim.
Yeah.
So it's a disregard of all times.
I think it's important to know too that area is, you know, a huge recreation area, and for anyone that's been in town through the summer season, the whole area gets used, and it's a tough thing, because how do we, you know, hey, kids, get off my dock, which we need to do, obviously, but, it's a tough situation, because how do we go in there and say, hey, we need to be over there, even though we have signs everywhere that say that, but, it's just a disregard for the signs that we have. So, you know, ADS, board, contact. I think those will be there on the weekends, since kids are going back to school anyway, so it'll be fine.
So I'll try to make contact with somebody on.
All right, I appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, I guess we need to either accept or deny the department report. Sorry, I missed that. All in favor? All opposed? So now back to council members' comments. Anybody else?
I guess it was just yesterday, it feels like 10 days ago now, myself, Mayor Manager, and Susan Wally met with Roger. As you all know, he's retiring. He had concerns that he wanted to make sure didn't get lost when he left. One of those biggest concerns is upgrading our meter reading infrastructure, our program. Since we currently use Icon, I don't want to misspeak here, but I might wrong, but we currently use Icon, which years ago we began phasing census meters in. Now we're getting to the point where we need to go to the point where census can handle all of our readings and all that remotely. Right now we have in the water fund $117,000. The estimate before the sales rep gets here in 3 weeks is around $50,000 to $55,000 that we would utilize out of that fund for. And then we'll begin using only census meters, which that process has already begun, so that town becomes a cohesive system. So just know that in a few weeks we'll have that primed up with numbers for everyone to see, but it's coming down the pipe. So this is coming from the guy that if there was a leak in front of your house over the last 20 years, he was probably in the hole. So,
Will this save us money in the long run, having this remote? I mean, I would think it would save us money having remote reading and all this.
it streamlines the whole process.
Okay, all right. So that $50,000 is more of an investment?
It's in the program itself. We're using census right now, but and it's an upgraded.
The program that he's wanting to purchase will revote until, and it'll cost us a little more than what we're paying now until we get all the Itrons phased out, and then we can go back to a lower package on the program.
What's the latest on the sewer line, transmission line?
The latest on those is we got the camera yesterday, where we could start looking at it. Unfortunately, it came with a $727 tariff to get it into the country. And then when they opened it up today, the camera was broke. So there's another one on its way. There will not be a tariff with it. It is coming from inside the States. I'm waiting on tracking information for that. But nothing has been paid other than the tariff until we get a unit that actually works. So currently they only have this deal, but we do have the unit. Looks like a very good unit. It does work. We have another meeting, I believe, in 2 weeks with the EPA and the ADAQ to go over more of their findings. I don't see any of the water guys today or my here. So they've been working with another company in Kansas to do the smoke testing on the lines that we have access to. Yep. I'll go ahead and bring this up. The Board of Adjustments is looking for another member. We need one more member. Merle, when he resigned, he was on there, and he resigned from that position as well. So if anybody would like to join the Board of Adjustments,
It's a planning and zoning code.
You do have somebody that we could nominate. Or we can hold off until next meeting. What would count on? Well, somebody that can do it, I don't want to do that anymore.
Sure, that's a good
Also, the Planning and Zoning Commission could use more people, so if anybody would like to join the Planning and Zoning Commission, please let us know, and we will get you put in there. Also, there was a Facebook post about roads, and you can see the equipment. I thought with AML, and there was nothing wrong with them using that equipment or helping out the city by volunteering their time. So, just to get that out there. All right, so now we're down to citizen comments on agenda item voting.
First 201 out the vista, was that turned over to the proper authorities to try and catch whoever did that?
No, not yet, but they're still working on it. I'm hoping on an update in a couple of days. I need to double check the laws, or like how it is reporting it to cities, compared to like how we did it at the county as far as when there is fraud. Now, at certain time frames, you have to report it, for art-led legislative audiences. But I want to hear more from the bank with more information on it.
Or would you probably want to ask the police chief or the attorney, or even call the attorney general down at the state of Arkansas? Because that's a lot of money somebody's trying to steal from the city.
Unfortunately, it's getting worse. I mean, there have been big issues just in the Treasurers Association, everybody talking, more and more people are getting checks and washing them, changing information on them. It might be time to start looking at taking all of vendors towards direct deposits, and that will help take away some of that and keep people from getting canceled checks.
Okay. Well, like I said, that needs to be turned over to them. That's pretty blatant.
Oh, yeah, when I pulled that, I was like, that is not even what's in the software.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, new business, we are still looking for a low voltage integrator company for access control systems and CCTV. We did have one company come do a walkthrough this week, but I'm still looking for other ones to make sure that we get our free bids. Any questions on that? Okay. Next is going to be real estate with amendments to resolution 2024 R14. City of Shoals, Arkansas City Council Resolution number 2024 R14. A resolution to approve an incentive payment for on-call availability for police officers. Whereas the City of Shoals recognizes the importance of maintaining reliable and responsive police force to ensure safety and security of its residents, and whereas the ability of police officers to be on call during designated times is critical for responding promptly to emergencies and maintaining public safety, and whereas the City of Shoals seeks to provide financial incentive to encourage police officers to be available on call as designated by the Chief of Police, and whereas the City Council has determined an incentive pay of $100 per pay period is appropriate compensation for officers who commit to being on call during the time specified by the Chief of Police, whereas police officers will be paid an hourly rate when on call. Now therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of Shoals, Arkansas, that incentive payment approval, number one, incentive payment approval. The City Council hereby approves incentive payment of $100 for each pay period to 2 city police officers in exchange for their agreement to be available on call during times designated by the Chief of Police. Number 2, officer selection. The Chief of Police shall have the authority to select 2 police officers who will receive the on-call pay incentive. payment. These officers must commit to being available during the specified on-call periods as determined by the chief of police. Number 3, duration of incentive. The incentive payment shall commence on the first pay period of the month following the adoption of this resolution and shall continue on a bi-weekly basis until the city council adopts a resolution to amend or terminate this incentive program, or the chief of police determines that this incentive is no longer required. Number 4, conditions on availability. Specific conditions and requirements for on-call availability, including but not limited to response time, availability during designated hours, and adherence to on-call protocols shall be established and enforced by the chief of police. Number 5, hourly rate. Where the police officers are on call, they will be paid at an hourly rate of their pay. Budgetary considerations, the financial allocation or the incentive payment shall be included in the budget underneath the police department's compensation line item. The city treasurer is hereby authorized to make the necessary budget adjustments to accommodate these payments. Effective date, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? All right. Next is repeal resolution 2026-R6. Resolution 2026-R6 is resolution repealing resolution 2024-R14, where the city of Shoals no longer intends to offer the incentive previously provided under 2024-R14. Now therefore be resolved by the City Council of Shoals, Marion County, Arkansas, that resolution 2024-R14 is hereby repealed and such incentives provided for within this resolution shall be discontinued. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. All in favor? All opposed? Next is going to be repeal resolution R25-29. Resolution R25-R29, a resolution making all city of Shoals full-time police officers police positions salary. Do I have to read this since we're reviewing it? Great. All of them. Can I get a motion? All in favor? All opposed? All right. Officers payback resolution 2026-R17. All right. So resolution number 2026-R17 is a resolution paying out wages due to police officers due to payroll discrepancies. Whereas the City Council of the City of Shoals, Arkansas, pursuant to applicable state and local laws, adopted the fiscal year 2026 city budget on November 20th, 2025. Whereas the City Council has determined that it is necessary and in the best interest of the public to pay wages owed to the 3 full-time police officers employees due to payroll discrepancies found dating back to July 2025. Officers were shorted hours, paid wrong pay rates, and even overpaid in some instances. Whereas the city treasurer is to pay out the following employees through payroll out of the salaries and wages line item in the police budget. Jonathan Babb, $5,596.32. Dominic Castani, $2,876.79. Haley Herring, $141.04. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Shoals, Arkansas as follows. Section 1. The City Council hereby approves the compensation to be paid out to the above listed officers. Section 2. The City Treasurer or their designee is hereby authorized and directed to make necessary entries into the city financial systems to implement the pay contained herein and to take all necessary actions to effectuate the intent of this resolution. Section 3, the resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
No?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
I want to ask a question.
Sure.
Is taxes coming out of that?
Yes, taxes will come out of it.
All right, if I could please call Jonathan Bass, Dominic Castano, and Pat Haley up to sign. Sorry, gotta finish the vote. All right. All in favor? All opposed? All right, now it's done. I didn't get it. All right. Reading and approval, Resolution 2026 R18, amending certain line items of the fiscal year 2026 city budget for police general. A resolution amending certain line items for the fiscal year 2026 budget for police general. Whereas the City Council of Shoals, Arkansas, pursuant to applicable state and local laws, adopt the fiscal year 2026 budget on November 20th, 2025. Whereas the City Council has determined necessary and in the best interest to the public to amend certain line items of the adopted police budget to correct payroll discrepancies for the 3 full-time officers. Whereas the City Treasurer is to transfer the following from Police Department overtime wages of $8,000 to Police Department salary and wages of $8,000. Now therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Shoals, Arkansas as follows. Section 1. The City Council hereby approves the amendments of the fiscal year 2026 city budget as set forth above. Section 2. The City Treasurer or the their designee is hereby authorized and directed to make necessary entries in the city's financial system to implement the budget amendments contained herein and to take all necessary actions to execute the intent of this resolution. Section 3. The resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Any discussion? Just to make sure that everybody knows, so when we did away with the salary, they're now going to they'll be paid for every hour that they work, but it will be straight time. The budget had in overtime rates because we had more than the 3 uniformed officers, and since we don't have more than 3 full-time uniformed officers, they will just be getting straight time for the time that they're paid. So we're going to move the budget money for the overtime back to the regular salary and wages to cover that. Any other questions, discussion on that? Is there a second? All in favor? All opposed? Next one is resolution number R for 26 R18. A resolution amending certain line items of the fiscal year 2026 budget for, no, that's the same one. That's this one. Sorry, I have to. Alright. 2026 R16. A resolution authorizing the return of surplus property back into inventory of the City of Shoals. Whereas the City of Shoals had certain items in inventory that were surplus from resolutions 2025 R23 and 2026 R09. Whereas it's in the best interest of the City of Shoals to place one white $2,000 Ram 1500, VIN number 3 Bravo 7 HF137, 3IG208288, and 2021 John Deere Model 612E cab tractor with brush broom arm, unit number 152, serial number 1P06120 EKL 00123441, back into inventory. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Bull Shoals, Arkansas, that Section 1 of the City of Bull Shoals Streets Department declares the property inventory described above to be placed back into the Streets Department inventory. Any discussion?
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Now, get ready for a vote. I don't have the ordinance number that this will be, but I will get it updated. An ordinance of the City of Bull Shoals, Arkansas, a city of the second class, establishing a permit system for the keeping of hobby chickens, establishing sanitary nuisance inspection and enforcement requirements, providing fees, penalties, and permit revocation, and for other purposes. Whereas the City Council of Bull Shoals finds that allowing the limited keeping of hens for personal, non-commercial use may benefit residents while preserving the public health, safety, and welfare. And whereas the City Council finds that reasonable regulations governing the keeping of the hobby chickens are necessary to protect neighboring properties, owners from nuisances, unsanitary conditions, and other adverse impacts. Now therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Bull Shoals, Arkansas. Section 1, Purpose. The purpose of this ordinance is to permit the limited keeping of hobby chickens while protecting the public health, safety, and welfare through a permitting and inspection program intended to minimize nuisances and unsanitary conditions. Section 2, Definitions. For this purpose of the ordinance, A. Hobby chickens means domesticated hens that are kept by the occupant of a single-family dwelling for personal use and not for commercial breeding, boarding, or agricultural production. B. A single-family dwelling means a detached residential structure occupied as a residence for one family. C. Enclosure means any coop, pen, run, shelter, or fenced area used for keeping hobby chickens. D. Permit means a hobby chicken permit issued by the city pursuant to this ordinance. Section 3, Permit Requirements. No person shall keep hobby chickens within the city unless a valid hobby chicken permit has first been obtained from the city. B. A separate permit shall be required for each residence at which hobby chickens are kept. C. A permit shall not be transferable to another property or another person. I wasn't lying about a book. D. A hobby chicken shall remain valid indefinitely unless voluntarily surrendered by the permit holder or suspended or revoked pursuant to this ordinance. C. The mayor, animal control officer, or any other city official authorized by the mayor or the council may issue hobby chicken permits upon determining that the applicant complies with the requirements of this ordinance. F. Every permit issued pursuant to this ordinance shall contain, at minimum, 1. The name of the permit holder, 2. The address of the property where the hobby chickens are authorized to be kept, and 3. The date the permit was issued. G. The permit holder shall maintain the hobby chicken permit at the premise and shall produce the permit for inspection upon the request of the animal control officer or any other city official authorized to enforce this ordinance. An electronic copy of the permit shall satisfy this requirement if it clearly displays the information required by subsection F. H. Copies of issued permits shall be kept and recorded by the city. Section 4. Permit fee. A. The fee for a hobby chicken permit shall be $20. B. The permit fee shall be paid only upon the initial issuance of the permit. No annual renewal fees shall be required unless the permit is revoked and a new permit application is submitted. C. All permit fees collected pursuant to this ordinance shall be deposited in the city's general fund or another account designated by the city's council and shall be used solely to offset the cost of administering and enforcing this ordinance, including compensation for the animal control officer and other city employees or officials responsible for inspections, permits, administration, and enforcement. D. Payment of the permit fee does not exempt the permit holder from compliance with this ordinance. Section 5. General sanitary requirements. It shall be unlawful to keep any animal in any building, pen, loop, coop, or enclosure within the city unless such building's pen, loop, coop, or enclosure is maintained in a clean and sanitary condition. B. Enclosure shall be maintained so as to prevent offensive odors, excessive accumulations of manure, rodents, flies, insects, vermin, and other conditions detrimental to public health. C. Upon notice from the animal control officer or other authorized city officials, violations of this section shall be corrected within 24 hours unless a shorter period is required to protect the public health. Section 6. Hobby chickens. A. No more than 6 hens may be kept on any lot containing a single family dwelling. B. Hobby chickens shall not be permitted at apartments, duplexes, condominiums, townhomes, or other multi-family residential properties. C. Roosters are prohibited. D. Outdoor slaughter of chicken or other fowl is prohibited. E. All chicken coops, pens, and enclosures shall be located only within a side or rear yard and shall be situated at least 25 feet from any neighboring dwelling and at least 15 feet from any property line or road. F. Enclosures shall be maintained in a neat, secure, and sanitary condition at all times and cleaned regularly to prevent offensive odors, insect infestation, or unsanitary conditions. G. Feed shall be stored in durable, rodent-resistant containers equipped with tight-fitting lids. H. Hobby chickens shall be kept solely for the personal use of the occupants of the residence and shall not be used for commercial breeding, boarding, or agricultural operations. Section 7. Nuances. A. The keeping of hobby chickens shall not create or permit a public or private nuisance. B. Conditions constituting a nuisance include, but are not limited to, offensive odors, excessive noise, accumulation of manure, feathers, refuse or waste, conditions attracting rodents, flies, insects, or other vermin, unsanitary conditions, escape of chickens from owner's property, or any condition material interfering with neighboring property owners' use and enjoyment of their property, or endangering public health or safety. Section 8. Inspection. A. As a condition of obtaining and maintaining hobby chicken permits, the permit holder agrees to permit reasonable inspections of those portions of the property where hobby chickens are kept by the animal control officer or other authorized city official. B. Inspections shall be conducted only at reasonable times and in reasonable manner and shall be limited to determining compliance with this ordinance or investigating an alleged violation. C. Nothing in this ordinance shall be construed as authorizing a city official to enter private property without the consent of the owner or occupant or other lawful authority. D. If consent to inspect is denied, the city may seek an administrative inspection warrant or other lawful processes as authorized by law. E. A permit holder's refusal to permit a reasonable inspection may constitute grounds for suspension or revocation of the permit following written notice and an opportunity for a hearing as provided in this ordinance. F. Refusal to comply with a lawfully issued administrative inspection warrant or court order shall constitute as a violation of this ordinance. Section 9, suspension or revocation of a permit. A, the mayor, following a recommendation from the animal control officer or other authorized city officials, may suspend or revoke a hobby chicken permit for any of the following reasons: violation of any provision of this ordinance, maintaining a public or private nuisance, failure to correct a violation within the prescribed time after notice, providing false information on the permit application, failure to permit inspection as provided in Section 8, failure to pay any fee required by this ordinance, or any material misrepresentation upon which issuance of the permit was based. B, prior to suspension or revocation, the permit holder shall receive written notice stating the reasons for the proposed action and shall be afforded an opportunity for a hearing before the city council or its designated hearing officer. C, a permit revoked pursuant to this order shall not be reissued until all violations have been corrected and a new application and permit fee has been submitted and approved. Revocation of a prior permit may serve as sufficient cause for a city official to refuse to issue a new permit to an applicant if the official reasonably believes the circumstances that led to the original revocation are likely to repeat. Section 10. It is the last page. You didn't bring me anymore, but that's not fair. Section 10, exemptions. This ordinance shall not apply to A, indoor birds customarily kept as household pets, including but not limited to parrots, parakeets, cocktails, canaries, birds similar companion birds, or B, the lawful transportation of poultry or other fowl through the corporate limits of the city. Section 11, penalties. Any person violating any of the provisions of this ordinance shall be subject to a civil fine fee of $25 for each day the violation continues. B, each day the violation continues after expiration of the applicable compliance period shall constitute as a separate offense. C, the city may seek injunctive relief or and other remedy authorized by law in addition to the penalty provided herein. Section 12, severability. If any section subsequent sentence, clause, phrase, or provision of this ordinance is declared invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, such decision shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 13, effective date. This ordinance shall take effect 90 days after its passage. So that was the first reading. All right. So we were going to go ahead and talk and begin. But is there any discussion on that?
If you want to do first reading, it's the violation.
Yes.
Otherwise, you can do everybody only and keep but like I'm saying, if you're wanting to do reading, we want to have time.
Oh, sure.
And as you have copies, if anybody wants a copy of it, it's just so long, but you tried to write this in a way that it wouldn't need to be amended or corrected or redone or et cetera, et cetera. We tried to think about all the different things that could go wrong.
Okay, make a motion to accept the reading first.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? All opposed? All right. So as Mr. Howell mentioned earlier, Roger is retiring, and Ed Martin will be the interim controller until Dylan gets his level 2. Do I have a motion on that or discussion? Is there a second? All in favor? All opposed? All right. The next thing on the agenda is we need a new computer for the Public Works Department. The old computer crashed. This one is used to help them make signs. We also will need the program to run that. So we're looking into seeing how much that's going to cost, but I wanted to bring that up.
Are we just, is it just gonna be just to make signs with, that's it?
It'll be for that and their reports.
Okay, because there may be a computer, a laptop down at the ALS building that might do that.
Okay.
Obviously, it's not gonna have the software on it, but, I can you get me in the building tomorrow? I can go down to the building tomorrow and poke around and see. I'm almost positive that there's a laptop down there that would do that. And also, it's just a vinyl cutting program for a vinyl line cutter. I may have a open software, program to do that because I don't use proprietary software on my sign cutter. It's shareware, so it's a free download. So let me go down tomorrow and, if you can get me in there, I'll see if there's a computer. As long as it doesn't need to do anything like real fancy, because most of the computers down there are about 5 or 6 years old. But if that's all it needs to do is reports and signs, that we should have that with. So I'll go look tomorrow and let you know.
Thank you, Dave. All right. Next is ALS buildings. Items that will help the police and fire departments improve when we get those items out of the building. Do we have a list of what all those items are?
I don't have a list of all of the items. It's basically just some of the lead can be used by the guys that way. Can be used for casting, in addition for training only. We obviously can't make any addition for duty work, but we can use it for training.
Okay, could you get a list and also rough estimate of what the value is? Okay. I would like the council to consider changing Jamie Rogers to the street supervisor. His pay would stay the same, but he's basically already doing that job. He's been a great asset to the team and he's doing more than just a mechanic role. So I'd like to change his title to that.
Mr. Rogers want his title to be changed? Just curious.
I like that.
You want to be made supervisor?
I like that, Mr. Rogers. Is Jamie here?
No, he's not.
No, he's not there?
Yeah.
Yes, he does, okay, yeah, great.
If I understand that correctly, you want to know that, okay, we're not doing it as a thing.
Correct. Yeah, just want to make sure that the council locates that. All right. Approval of the 501c3 fire and police auxiliaries to use city equipment. A lot of city employees are on these auxiliaries. So what that would mean is if they're in here and they need to print something, they would have to provide their own paper and their own ink, but they would be able to use the printer. So I'm asking that does the city council have any issues with the auxiliaries utilizing some of the city equipment?
I'll make a motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? All right, budget committee. We have one, some people have left. We are looking for people that want to join. We would love for citizens to join. All right, we'll put you down. Anybody else, please just reach out to any of your councilmen or email the city, and we would love to have anybody and everybody on all of these committees. So, thank you very much. Also, all the councilmen, you guys should have received several different applications, as well as one resume. We have had a lot of people applying for the streets department. We've actually had a couple people for public works as well. I want to be as transparent as possible, and so I'm asking you guys to, in your time, please take a look at those. Get with me, and if you want to be part of interviews, I would be happy to have you there for the interviews and go over this to get our city staff back up.
How many positions are we looking to hire?
I think we've got 2 plus the park camp post that I'm still trying to work on.
Just as a administrative reminder, if you want to have more than one council member and a meeting,
Thank you.
please know.
There we go.
So, I want to attend this like one at a time, maybe, and that'll cause me issues.
Thank you.
You're going to do the whole remote post, make sure this is a single meeting, recording and whatnot.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Will. I am still working on drafting the position for the camp host. The gentleman that we have been talking to has found a trailer that he can rent to own. And I do see him in the audience. Do you have anything that you could say about the trailer? Have you looked at it? Can you tell us about it? Or do you by chance have any pictures of it?
Yes, I do have pictures. I believe it's 2015.
Okay.
It's a Sprinter, so 32 foot.
Okay. If you would you email those to me so that I can share them with the council? Thank you, sir. Also, the last thing that I have to say. I want this to be something new that Shoals is not used to. So going forward, I'm asking all the council and all the citizens to stop saying the words past administration. And it doesn't do us any good to live in the past. What's done is done. We can't change it, but we can work to fix it. And we're never going to fix it if we're just stuck back there. It's time for us all to look forward. Let's start moving that way. Let's start getting there. And let's start rebuilding our town and bringing the tourists and the tax dollars back to our town.
Let me add one thing to that. It was really nice to have this crown for chairs tonight. So I made a point last time of saying that, and I'm really happy that we had this crown for chairs. So thank you all for coming.
Also, since you appointed me, now my seat is, council seat is vacant, and we will be taking applications. All right, now the citizen comments. Oh, Amber, go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify on that fraudulent check, that it did not go through, like it was caught in time, and we didn't lose any money or anything, and it wasn't done locally, so I just wanted to clarify that.
All right, citizen comments.
Our vehicles 102 Switch Lane, did we not, I've been on budget, and will continue to be on budget, but did we not expose the discrepancy in the fire department salaries? Also, we found police, is there one not in the fire?
I'm still going through payroll records.
Okay, well, they should be corrected.
I'm trying to find the ordinance that put all the heads of departments at the same rate.
Yeah.
And as soon as I can find
That's gonna be
which that one is, I'm going to either reinstate that one or make some changes to it.
Okay.
But that is the goal, yes, sir. Anything else?
This is Bobby, 31 Woodstone.
I want to talk tonight about a choice the city kind of keeps avoiding, and that's whether we want to be known as a city that welcomes people in or a city that finds reasons to say no and shuts people out. Because right now we keep choosing no with businesses and with each other, and it's costing us. It's costing us tax dollars, it's costing us tourism. Here's an example. An anti-business city sees someone organizing an event, putting together something like a block party, and somebody else sees it and thinks they don't have permits for this, let's call them here and shut it down. Or somebody can see that event and say, hey, I wonder if they know they're supposed to have permits for live music or food trucks or something like that, and picks up a phone and says, hey, do you know you're supposed to have that? And here's where you go to get it. And if you don't know how to fill it out, I can find you somebody that can help you. That is what a pro-business city does. That's what a welcoming city does, not shutting people down, shutting people out. Same rules, same city, different outcomes, and one of those outcomes is whether or not that person ever wants to do something in our town again, or whether they tell other people, hey, come do things in Shoals because they want to help you and they want it to happen. If we want the town to grow instead of shrinking, city staff and the council need to make it easier to say yes. All of us. That's all of us. The whole town. That's me. That's everybody. We need to make it easier to say yes and not wait to catch people doing something that we think is wrong and then tell them, that doesn't help anybody. The second choice of limit, I think, is maybe even more important about how we treat each other. Every one of you ran for office or applied for the positions that you hold in the city. That means that sometimes citizens are going to say things to you that you don't like or that make you hard. You may be dead. You might, if you're the water clerk, you're probably going to get in here and say citizens that this bill is too high. It's part of the job. We're all in service positions. I know I was in one for a long time. I worked in the dean's office at a graduate school. I got difficult questions and difficult conversations, and I had to say no a lot, and it was hard. But I think it's important for all of us to treat each other with some dignity and respect. It kind of seems to have fallen by the wayside. There are a lot of really ugly memes and nasty things being said. And I just think as a community, we've got to decide on that. We're either going to pull together and try to keep the city moving forward, pick us up and move us forward, or this city's going to shrink and die. And I know I own property here. My property values, I don't want to lose all the money that we put into the time, energy, and effort. I think it behooves us all to kind of say, let's take a step back, let's take a look around and stop. Just stop it. I will say that I think that responses to ugly memes and nastiness on Facebook has gone down to very, very little. I think that we have seen a little bit, but I still see them. People are not sharing them like they used to. They're ridiculous. It's childish and wrong. We're wrong up there. We need to act like it. I think we have to make that decision as a town. We have to all do that. We have to be respectful and mindful. And I think that starts at the top with administration. I think you guys set the bar for that. How you treat each other, how you treat citizens, how you treat department heads. You set the bar. You set the example, and that's what leadership is about. It's about setting the standard, and that's what I'm asking y'all to do. I would really like to see the city adopt a pro-business posture in writing, perhaps a directive to council and staff to treat citizen questions as a chance to help people get it right, and not a trigger to shut things down. I'd also like to see a standard for public conduct, a clear, shared commitment from the council and the mayor, no retaliation, no personal attacks, and real engagement. Even when those questions are hard and difficult to answer, again, for grown-ups. If I ask one of you all something, and I have, you can ask Mr. Howell, sometimes I ask difficult questions. I expect to be treated with respect. I treat you with respect. I do expect to be treated the same. In return, I don't think that's a lot to ask. This town's not going to grow by accident. It requires people in charge to decide on purpose to make it easier for people to come and build something here, whether it's a home or a business or a family or a vacation spot. If we don't decide right now that we want to make it easier for people to do that, we're not going to learn. We're going to continue to shrink, shrivel, and die. And we'll have more decrepit properties in town, wondering what to do with them. I think we're at a crossroads here. I mean, I think that we've had a lot of turmoil in this town. I don't think, we all know that was a stupid thing to say. But we have a choice. Doing nothing is a choice. I've said that here before. Doing nothing is a choice. But we have an opportunity right now. We have, a full council. We have an opportunity to make a decision to rebuild trust. The citizens here have lost trust. I mean, that's valid. But y'all can rebuild that. We can create a culture that welcomes businesses and community events. Again, that requires intentional choices, and it requires leadership that models transparency, fairness, and respect. And I am asking you all to choose that now. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. I want to follow that up. Thank you. Is that better?
Am I good then? One of the things you said is saying no, and that's totally
Mike.
Say it again.
Name and address, please.
Oh, sorry, Mike South, 2 Crestline Drive. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Saying no is important. Knowing where boundaries are is important. Knowing what to stop is important. So I'm going to ask you guys, who speaks for the city? The mayor, the council, who speaks for the city? City administration? Right? Earlier this week, I sent you all an email that has about 10 examples in it. All of those examples ask one question: who speaks for the city? If someone speaks for the city, we should know it. You guys should tell us. We shouldn't have questions about it. Here's a quick example. Lori over here received a zoning citation for her property. I read the citation, went to court. In district court, in front of the attorneys, Lori shared that Rick Anderson, the chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission, told her that the city's case would be dropped if she tore down a cabin and he watched or witnessed. Think about that. Not enough for her to remove the improvement, not enough to just comply, provide photographs, have the city administration, anyone else verify. Nope. The chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission has to inspect private property before the city would dismiss its case. Whether you agree with that arrangement in court or not, that's what happened. The point is that Lori relied on it. In court, relied on someone here, the city of Shoals, the voice. Then yesterday the city's position changes. Now she's told, if you place your property on the market for sale, now we'll withdraw our ticket. Improvements already been taken down. It's already been removed. It's already been verified and proven by agreement, compliance, change the rules, same threat. Who speaks for the city? The chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission spoke for the city in those instances. The chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission does not have authority to negotiate settlements in court on behalf of the city of Shoals. The head of the Board of Adjustments does not have the authority in city court.
I'm looking on the computer because it's all news to me, so please.
No problem. To negotiate settlements on behalf of the city. The building official administers our policies, our rules. Doesn't negotiate on behalf of the city in court. Those are the only 3 hats I can find that could have been worn to make these decisions. So where did that authority come from? This isn't isolated. Earlier this week, the chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission took over the administrative duties here in the office. Announced that there are new policies, procedures, standards, whatever, much like what we would have expected from a chicken ordinance for having an event. Shared that
Here's the new policy, the new procedures you have to go through. If you don't want an event in a city park, you come to city council. You want it on private property, you go to planning and zoning. You want it at 3 specific businesses in town, you should just do it. Interesting. Speaking for the city, in the administrative office, answering questions to the public. Who are we supposed to listen to? Who speaks for the city? If you all don't start saying no, if you all don't start setting some fences, setting some rules internally, how are we supposed to know who to listen to? Is it who's yelling loudest? Is it FOIA Meister on Facebook that we should all take our information from? Who do we listen to? You guys have to correct this. Nobody else can do it. We're all sitting out here waiting for the city to say, look, this is who we speak on behalf of the city. Everybody else needs to bring that to us. There's proper ways to run through this business. You guys have to fix it. If you've got somebody running around, putting on different hats, different settings, speaking on behalf of the city, and you continue to entrust all of those positions with the same person, you're telling all of us clearly, he's in charge. We're listening.
Anybody else? And what just say that? Mike?
Sure.
What administrative duties would, you said a lot of things that I don't even know about. So, what administrative duties was he doing?
So a citizen came into the front office here and asked about if a permit is needed to host a farmer's market at Bellargo. City staff said there's no process. City doesn't have a process for that. Then someone walked into that office, Mr. Anderson, the chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and explained to the public that there is a process. The process for me, C4 zone properties to go in front of Planning and Zoning. The process for someone else is to come in front of you. And the process for these businesses over here, they just have just 3 of them. The theater, Councilwoman Hutchinson's business is one of them. She can't come in. Those are the 3 businesses that they just have. How is it? Anyway, sorry, just answering your question.
No, when was this?
Sorry?
When was this?
This week, I can get you the date. Tuesday, maybe?
Okay. I wasn't in here Tuesday, so that do mine. There's a lot of things you just said that I don't think anybody up here or in the city. Are you aware of some of this stuff?
Because we said, as far as I know, there are no permits for events. I haven't seen anything, and I said if we did, none of the churches come and state they're having events. They don't come to City Hall and get a permit for events. Any events we've had, we've never seen anybody come to City Hall for a permit.
And let me make a correction to, the event you're talking about, my wife's business sponsored it, and she did come in and ask if she needed a permit. So, just clarifying that. It was my wife's business that did it. She did ask if there was a permit necessary. Susan was very helpful and said there wasn't, and so.
I think there may have been 2 instances then.
Yes.
This is a separate request of the city. And the answer was different.
Correct.
There's no clarifying word, saying it was my business.
Oh, I see.
That's it.
I got you.
I think that's a cheap shot.
No, it's not a cheap shot. When the city of Shoals stands in the administrative office and shares with the public that a permit is required except for 3 businesses, and yours is one of them, that's the record.
My wife's is one of them.
That's fine, sorry. Well, I'll clarify. Your wife's business is one of them. Thank you.
That's the clarification I was trying to make.
It's called zoning ordinances. Certain zones are set up for certain things. I agree, you need to respect your neighbors. But, I believe I should read you a video I sent of a generator rattling neighbors' windows for a food truck that's not zoned for that type of property. A city cannot function without rules. And just like they want to state, you gotta hear no, sometimes people gotta hear no, whether they like it or not. The same as yes. We're very pro-business, but there's certain places, there's certain things to do certain events. And there is a permit regardless of it. It's been going on for years. So is there, they put up the thing and they're selling goods, would that be considered on yard sale? I'm saying, I don't know that question. But you gotta hear no and yes, but zoning is a critical part of every city in this nation. Zoning rules. You might not like it, but there's rules for reasons, just like you just read that chicken book for that one ordinance. There's reason for it, so don't disturb the neighbor so everybody can get along. If someone doesn't follow that ordinance, they have to say, no, you can't do this. They're going to be upset, but that's the reason for it. Then again, if it's done right, you've done that, what the rules say to that ordinance, then you're good to go. Is that not correct? So my point of being is there's zoning laws for zoning reasons around the nation, and there's reasons for it. Like food trucks, for C1 and C2 property, because that's main stretch, and there's not the residential area where generators aren't running, disturbing neighbors, and so forth, for a example. So that's what people need to think about too. You just can't say, oh, just let me do whatever, because where does it stop? And the council is in Los Angeles, really. But I'm tired of being insulted because I grew up here. You know that. A lot of people in the show, you know that. I'm nothing but love this town on my heart and want the best for it. And so when I get insulted, and that's how I'm taking it, that's wrong. Because I want the best for every business in this town. But there is rules to follow. Plain and simple. And there's reasons for those rules. Right? And you not agree on that? Or we're becoming a lawless town. Where does the lawless town live? No. A bunch of craziness. There's reasons. Zoning is a critical part of every town in this nation. And it is debated over and over and over. The parties probably agree on this, long range. Some are upheld, some aren't, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to point out, zoning is a very critical part of our city's function. Right, and there's reason for this. Thank you.
Next.
The topic is the crux of the matter, what are the designated enforcement responsibilities of the Planning and Zoning Commissioner, as well as the rest of the Planning and Zoning Commission? Should be specified for all parties concerned.
I think that is on our website, isn't it? It's stated on. All right. Jeff.
Jeff Kennan, 2 Crestline Drive. Thank you for everybody's comments tonight, and people are saying. Let me start with a few words about Councilman Hutchinson posted publicly. 1, that Bull Shoals is at an inflection point. 2, that we need to keep retreating to our tribe and put the nine down and work together. And that he's invested his heart and soul here and knows what this town can be if we all band together. We couldn't agree more. There's nothing however confused and frankly frustrated by how the work was been treated over the past year. When we arrived over a year ago, we were welcomed online by a few community members, the former mayor, and 1 city council member. Other than that, we were met with rumors and outright false claims, some coming from members of this government. Such as we were here to make a quick buck, or planning to turn the property into Section 8 housing, a lie still being repeated by members of this government. Then we have a petition claiming a room had a moldy window. It wasn't mold, it was a broken seal between the panes. And the siding issue that was mentioned in that same petition had already been fixed before we even reached this council. No code was cited for these issues, plus there are houses with trash, cars, and other issues on the roads all around Malarco. When we opened the laundry room for citizens so they didn't have to drive into town, we were questioning the queues of creating traffic problems. Before summer, the issue of rooms for tourists was brought up, and we were told to make sure we had held rooms open for tourists, and we had rooms all season long. Most recently, we hosted a farmers market with the Methodist Church, and even that became something to criticize us for. Over the course of the year, there have been many claims of complaints being made, but I could not find any official complaints. I did a FOIA request. I could not even find a petition in the city's record. How is the city supposed to decide what is worth pursuing if there's no formal record and just backroom conversations being used to direct actions taken by the government? We're also aware of at least one property owner that Mike spoke about that's in a dispute with the city over zoning codes. Meanwhile, several single-family homes sit in C4 zones and have gone unrezoned for years without any scrutiny, but Malarco is singled out. We've put our heart, soul, savings, and time in this town and Malarco. The Sauls have moved here to manage the property on site. We've hosted hundreds of guests from many different towns, paid thousands of dollars in local taxes, money that never would have come to this town's way if this property had continued down the road that it was. Councilman Howell had his livelihood attacked by government regulations, and we're not watching the same thing happen to us. Councilman Hutchinson asked whether this town is willing to put the knives down and actually work together. I'd like him honestly answer that question. Because right now, actions are matching words. This government should be spending its energy following the comprehensive city plan that exists, supporting working with resorts, not making it harder for them to operate, attracting new businesses, keeping citizens safe, and encouraging tourism. We look forward to the city working together for the benefit of everyone. Thank you for your time.
Anybody else?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? I think I already did that. I'm done. I'm talking enough, you guys. No, I will not. All right, all in favor? Meeting adjourned.